Alright, so 2023's Magic Mike's Last Dance is the third film and possibly final film in the Magic Mike trilogy. In the film, we're following Mike Lane, aka Magic Mike, played of course by Channing Tatum, and he meets Maxandra Mendoza, played by Salma Hayek. And after they share a very intimate dance together, she decides to enlist his help to direct a new stage show over in London. And of course, it's a Magic Mike movie, so you can kind of assume what type of show they're going for. I'll start off the review by saying this: I've only seen the first Magic Mike movie. The only reason I had any interest in watching it at the time was because at the time, one of my favorite stand-up comedians was Gabriel Iglesias, aka Fluffy, and he, of course, is in that first film. But I remember being pleasantly surprised by the storyline in the film and was impressed for the type of story that they did in a film like that. It's easy to look at a film like Magic Mike as a film made purely for people who want to watch muscular men dance around in their underwear. And of course, that is kind of the target audience for these films, but at the same time, there is usually a good storyline going on under the surface. But as for this one, I also really enjoyed the storyline. In fact, I would say I enjoyed this one more than the first one. That being said, this film is a lot less risque than those other two films, which might be a complaint for some people, honestly. Some people might be going into this film for that alone, and that's not really what you get here. To be fair, you do get it. It's mostly just in the beginning and the end. But especially compared to the other films, some people might view this one as kind of tame. And again, that might be a good thing for some people, but it also might be a bad thing for some people. I really enjoyed the storyline between Channing Tatum and Salma Hayek's characters. I thought that they had really good chemistry together. Especially Channing Tatum, I feel like he kind of gets slept on as an actor. I don't think people appreciate how talented he truly is. I think it was last year he actually co-directed a film called Dog, which I would highly recommend checking out. He also starred in the film, and he was fantastic. But aside from the two main leads in this film, the biggest standout from the supporting cast is definitely Juliet Mohammed as Hannah. She's one of the best characters in this film. She's the best from the supporting cast, and even kind of outshines the two main leads at times. Along with the acting, I love the color palette and cinematography of this film. It is very visually pleasing. And for that reason, along with the finale of this film, which is so entertaining, it is so fun, I was so hyped watching it, I think for those reasons, it's worth watching on the big screen. But that being said, I do have to get into some negatives. And one complaint I have is that they don't focus much on the actual making of the show. They don't show as much of the rehearsal as I wish they would. But in the end, that complaint isn't the biggest, to be completely honest, because with that finale, not seeing as much of the rehearsal left a lot of surprises. But in between those times of rehearsal, the story overall kind of drags a little bit, especially when it comes to the story with Salma Hayek and her ex-husband as well as her family. She has a few solid moments when it's just her, but for the most part, I like her more when she's with Mike in the film. And also the emotional aspects in this film, while they can tug on your heartstrings at times, I don't think I was as emotionally invested in her character as the film wanted me to be. But my biggest complaint overall really is the pacing. It takes a long time to actually get to the point of making the show, about 40 minutes. And up until that point, I wasn't really invested in the film. But after that point, I was. But still, 40 minutes is a very long time to not really be as invested in a film when you already have a film that's about an hour and 40 minutes long. So at that point, they basically had an hour to tell the entire story that they wanted to tell, just because they wanted to have the more steamy moments in the beginning. Overall, it's not a bad film by any means. In fact, it is a lot better than I thought it would be. And like I said, with that finale, as well as some of the cinematography and uses of color, it's definitely worth watching on the big screen. Maybe not as much buying it on DVD, Blu-ray, or digital when it comes out. Magic Mike's Last Dance from 2023 is worth the price of admission, making it a standard ticket. Have you seen it? What did you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you in the middle? I very much enjoyed it, more than I thought I would, but obviously I wouldn't say I love the film. Have you not seen it? Are you planning on watching it anytime soon? Why or why not? Also let me know down in the comments below. Really, any comments you have for me, I would love to hear from you. I respond to pretty much all of them. But do me a favor and leave a like on the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and I will see you in the next one.